He looked at me, his eyes full of a sad, tired confusion. "I just feel like I don't even know who you are," he said. And the most terrifying part was, neither did I. My entire life had been a performance. I was the funny one, the easygoing one, the supportive one. I morphed into whatever I thought the other person wanted, desperate for their validation, their approval, their love. The human cost of this was staggering. I felt hollowed out, a collection of personas with no solid core. My relationships felt conditional, built on the shifting sands of my ability to please. The emotional weight was crushing my sense of self. I started to think of it as an antagonist, a voice inside me I called the people-pleasing void. It fed on external validation and starved when I was alone. It whispered that my worth was not inherent. It had to be earned over and over in the eyes of others. That night after he left, I looked in the mirror and saw a complete stranger. The silence in the apartment was deafening, and the void inside me felt like a black hole. It was the lowest point of my life, the moment I realized this devastating pattern would repeat forever unless I did something. I finally saw that trying to win everyone else's love had cost me my own. In my despair, I stumbled across a quote: "Talk to yourself like you would to someone you love." It was so simple, yet it hit me like a lightning bolt. This led me down a rabbit hole of research. I discovered the work of Kristen Neff on self-compassion and the principles of attachment theory. I learned that I was constantly seeking a secure attachment from others because I had never built one with myself. The core insight that changed everything was this: my ability to build a healthy relationship was fundamentally limited by the unhealthy relationship I had with myself. I was treating my own heart with an anxious, avoidant attachment style. I'd abandon myself at the first sign of someone else's disapproval. To heal my connections with others, I first had to heal the connection with the person in the mirror. I had to become my own secure base. My first attempt was terrifyingly small. A friend asked for a last-minute favor I didn't have the energy for, and I said, "I'm sorry, I can't tonight." I was terrified they would hate me. They just said, "No problem, thanks anyway." And that was it. The world didn't end. In fact, in that moment, a little space opened up inside me. It was the first time I had chosen myself, and it felt like a quiet, powerful victory. This small win fueled a new practice. I started journaling, not about my day, but writing kind words to myself. I began celebrating tiny accomplishments instead of just focusing on my flaws. I started asking myself a simple question throughout the day: what do you need right now? A true breakthrough came when I made a mistake at work. Normally, the inner critic would have had a field day, calling me stupid and incompetent for hours. But this time, I paused. I took a breath and said to myself, "It's okay. You made a mistake. Everyone does. You are still competent and worthy." It felt foreign, almost ridiculous, but as I repeated it, the familiar, hot wave of shame just receded. For the first time, I was on my own side. It wasn't a straight line. Old habits died hard. There were days I desperately wanted to fall back into people-pleasing. But now I recognized the feeling, the pull of the void. I could pause and consciously choose a different path, reminding myself that temporary approval wasn't worth the long-term cost to my soul. As I changed, so did my relationships. Some friends, the ones who were used to me being a doormat, drifted away. It hurt, but it was also a necessary filter. Then I had a conversation with a new acquaintance where I shared a vulnerable opinion, expecting judgment. Instead, they leaned in, curious and engaged. In that moment, I felt seen for my actual self, not the character I was playing. It was electrifying. Today, my life feels completely different. The desperate, anxious energy is gone, replaced by a quiet confidence. It's not arrogance. It's a deep, settled knowing that my worth isn't up for debate. I no longer feel like I have to perform for my place in the world. I have built a home inside myself, and the feeling of peace that comes from that is something I never knew was possible. Before, a disagreement felt like a threat to my existence. Now, it's just a conversation because my sense of self isn't on the line. The ultimate reward is the quality of my relationships now. Because I am whole, I attract whole people. My connections are built on the solid ground of mutual respect and authenticity. Love is no longer something I have to anxiously earn. It's something I can calmly share. This isn't a finish line. Cultivating self-love is an ongoing practice, a choice I make every day. It's the choice to be kind to myself when I fail, to honor my own needs, and to be my own staunchest ally. It is the most important and rewarding work of my life. If you feel that same hollowness, that same desperate need to be loved, please hear me. The relationships you have with others will always be a mirror for the one you have with yourself. The journey to healthier connection doesn't start out there with them. It starts in here with you. The greatest, most transformative love story you will ever tell is the one you decide to write with yourself.